win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
He played with Bobby Mack, literally had a nervous breakdown the entire round, and by the time they got to the fourth hole, he was losing by a stroke. It was, you think Tommy Fleetwood's a train wreck. You should have seen what this poor guy went through yesterday playing with him.
Yeah, you know what I want to say in this too? Like, the winner gets the entire pot of earnings.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Paige Beckers. She does it night in, night out. She's been absolutely fantastic for a Dallas Wings team that really isn't going anywhere. We'll see what happens in regards to where they're going to end up in the WNBA draft, because obviously, if they win it, they're probably looking at her buddy, AZ Fudd, to be drafted next year.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season.
All right, welcome back. It is In-Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe just getting underway. Hour number one as we take it from the Game Time Decision, folks, as we take it for the next 2 hours right here on SportsGrid. Baseball, and some WNBA playoffs. In fact, a couple of games I really do like tonight that are on the board. One underway, one that'll get underway in a couple of hours. We'll break it all down over the next two. Some key baseball series. So my partner in crime, Mr. Morency. What's going on, Gabe? How are you tonight?
We're doing all right, Scott. No football tonight, but we do have the WNBA playoffs and kind of like playoff type of eliminator baseball games as well. So I've got my eye on everything. A slow start in Indianapolis as far as points are concerned. It's 20-17 for the Fever right now, early in the second quarter of play. It's an elimination game for the Fever. Atlanta took game one. I laid the 4 points, Scott, with the Atlanta Dream tonight. I figured the Fever, would be in it, and eventually they'll fall apart. They're going to get into foul trouble. They've got depth issues. Atlanta's on a roll right now. I think it'll be close, but I thought it'd be a little higher scoring. Game one was pretty low scoring, and I thought we'd get a few more points, but look forward to tonight's game with the Las Vegas Aces and the Seattle Storm, and I can report to everybody live right now, the Toronto Blue Jays have just taken a 3-0 lead on the Rays early in the top of the second inning right now. The Blue Jays are not playing around. They're trying to win their first division in 10 years.
Yeah. I thought with WNBA, Gabe, I thought the same thing. I didn't think Indiana was going to win. Didn't even think they were going to cover. I took Atlanta. I also took the over, though. Put them in a couple of parlays and reverses, old school stuff. A little surprised there's only 20 points in there early in the second quarter. I still think it'll go over, and it's 150 now total. I played the Indiana team total. I got it a little bit later at 80, and I played the game total as well at 159. So I'm a little surprised, but I hope the scoring does pick up. So got a good I don't know if it's a trend, but a good little thing for game number 2 that we'll break down, which actually starts 9:30, not 10 o'clock. A lot of these late WNBA games start at 10 o'clock, but this one starts in an hour and a half, so we'll have plenty of time. Get about a half hour's worth during our show. So speaking of trends, do have some great trends, some baseball trends, a WNBA trend to pass along as well with our 5 on the line. All right, we'll start with the baseball. These are the 5 best trends we have of the games that have yet to get underway, obviously. We'll start with Texas. Texas, 12 games under 500, taking on the Astros. 12 games under 500 on the road are the Rangers, I should add, while the Astros are 12 games over 500 at home, which is where tonight's game is. So a little adding and just subtracting, and that makes the Astros the trend play. Give me Houston minus 102 against the Texas Rangers. How about Arizona? Boy, I tell you what, we want to write this team off for dead, and I'm sure Gabe and I will talk about their game tonight against San Fran, but they got the 3rd best record since August 1st in baseball. 25-17 they are, including 3 straight. So Arizona the play, minus 130 against San Francisco, even though we're rooting on the Giants. How about the Phillies and Dodgers? Phillies clinching last night, the NL East division. They are still 9-2 against LA, and they're on fire overall. 10-2 their last 12 games. So trend-wise, Philadelphia plus 116 against the LA Dodgers. How about LA and Philadelphia over? Same game, obviously. Their last 11 meetings, they have gone over 11. Or 10 of the last 11. So in Los Angeles, which is where this game is. So how about a little over 7.5 Philadelphia at the LA Dodgers? May go against the conventional thinking that the Phillies are going to be celebrating and who cares about this game, but they actually are playing for something here. So that leaves us with only one, the coup de grace, creme de la creme, numero uno trend of the night. That is it. WNBA, Las Vegas, taking on Seattle. Las Vegas has won 17 straight games, folks. Don't make this stuff harder than it has to be. Trend-wise, Las Vegas, minus 196. Minus 196 at Seattle. How about that?
Deeper than that, they're actually 13-3-1 against the spread in the 17 games. They had one push, so they've actually been covering for the most part. They absolutely lit up Seattle in game 1. They scored over 100 points. I think there'll be points in this game tonight, but Seattle are talking a lot about how they've got to be better defensively. But Seattle really, quite frankly, aren't that good. As far as Philadelphia is concerned tonight, guys, you look at the Phillies, they are competing with the Milwaukee Brewers, right, for the best record, the top seed, etc. So is there a letdown spot? No. But still just subconsciously, human nature-wise, if you went back over the years of teams that have clinched things, Scott, in baseball, or whether they've won the next day or not, it hasn't ended well. Right? But they're still playing for something. So I get it. I don't think they're mailing it in tonight. But we got a fun pitchers duel here tonight. It's a really fun game with Sanchez and Ohtani on the hill. The Dodgers need to get the W as well. I'm looking forward to that game tonight.
Yeah. If you watch the end of that game last night, they didn't go crazy with their celebration. I don't know if they were popping champagne bottles in the locker room. Maybe they were. But at least on the field that I watched, Gabe, it was just like, listen, it was a foregone conclusion, right? They had an 11-game lead with the 13 games left. I mean, so there was no doubt they were going to win this division. So when it's that much of a formality, it's like, okay, yeah, we won. And they were happy, obviously. But it didn't seem over the top, like these guys were going to be spending all last night partying, getting drunk, and you're going to get a bunch of the starters not be playing today. Listen, first of all, they still got to hold off the Dodgers. I mean, it's a 5-game lead with 10 or 11 games left, so it looks pretty good, but they still got to hold off the Dodgers for the number 2 spot. And then you said it, they're catching Milwaukee for the number 1 spot. There's a pretty good chance those two teams are going to meet. So you want to have home field advantage in case you do in the National League Championship Series, and they're 2 back. So little celebrating, I'm sure, but I think they're going to be back to business tonight. I really do.
The thing with Philadelphia is, though, they're a veteran team, and they've been to the World Series, like, recently. They've been to the playoffs. They've had a lot of postseason disappointment. That's, almost the key to me right now. Philadelphia are dangerous. I thought they were dangerous. I thought they were the best team in the division the whole time. I didn't really buy into the Mets. But Philadelphia haven't won in the playoffs, right? Let's just call it for what it is. Do they peak too soon? Right? Is it, it's one thing or another in which they've lost in different ways when they get to the playoffs. But this does seem like a dangerous Phillies team right now. I'm not dismissing it. And as you noted, and, this time of the year we get into trends and some of these stuff. I think you can throw a lot of it out the window in Major League Baseball right now. When you play 162 games and they're into game 148 now and 150, et cetera, whatever, right? It's just sort of it's a game by game isolated thing, but it's not really a trend. It's just a fact that Philadelphia have owned the Los Angeles Dodgers. 9-2 doesn't lie, right? They played 11 times. The last 11 times they played. And don't tell me the Dodgers didn't try all 11 times, right? Like they did, right? Like they tried to win a game and they lost 9 out of 11 times. I swear, Scott, I've brought this up before. The state of Pennsylvania is a Dodger killer. Like if the Dodgers have to play the Phillies and the Pirates all the time, they'd never win anything, Scott. Like,
it's true. It's true.
Look at the record against the Pirates, and we know look at the record against the Phillies. Like I swear to God, I know this too. I'm always like, oh God, we're going to Pennsylvania. It's the Pennsylvania trip. It always ends bad.
Yeah, it's true. Even the Pirates, like Phillies, you understand because they've been good over the last 3, 4, 5 years. But obviously the Pirates have not been. And yet I don't know what it is offhand. And even if it does say Dodgers beat the Pirates, they're always close games. There's always goofy, like they take Scott, 2 out of 3 from LA. It's crazy.
Dodgers could have dodged a bullet last year, and I thought we did. In the Phillies getting bounced, actually. The Dodgers didn't have to play them.
Yeah.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the Rid. Scott and Gabe in Game Live, just getting underway till 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Recap of our 5 on the line. We're going to go with the Astros trends-wise. Astros basically pick them at home against Texas because they're good at home and the Rangers are awful on the road. Arizona minus the 130. Kind of rooting against all these picks almost. Minus 130 against San Fran because they're playing good ball. Philadelphia plus the 116 against the Dodgers. over that same game, 10-1 over their last 11 meetings in LA. And then the WNBA late game, Las Vegas, less than 2-1, minus 196, as they're going for their 18th straight win and a sweep of the series. I got a good little note about that. Most people think that probably won't happen, but I'll explain why it probably will. But did play a little hunch today, Gabe, and I tell you, I'm impressed. I really am. So Connolly early, remember him? He was the Red Sox pitcher they brought up last week. He went out to Sacramento, shut down the A's, 11 strikeouts and like 6 innings, whatever it was. So he's making another start tonight. Who's he facing? The A's again. So back-to-back outings against the same team, which is difficult for veteran pitchers, let alone a guy who's making just his first and second start, right? So I figured, all right, the A's are going to get to him tonight. I'll play over A's team total 3.5, take the A's plus 135, 140 or so. And the dude's pitching another gem. Shutout baseball through 5. He's got at least 6 strikeouts the last time I checked, only 4 hits. Maybe Metrano's got something with the LeSavage, and maybe the Red Sox got a little something with the Connolly early. The Mets got something with the McLean dude. These teams bring up these pitchers, and I don't know if it's just the lack of knowledge about these pitchers, but they've all come in and done a decent job for their respective teams.
Yeah, they really have. The question is, can they sustain it over a prolonged period of time? Right? You've got the first start, the second start. Very interesting with early that he faced the same team again after setting a Boston Red Sox franchise record for a pitcher making his debut with the 11 strikeouts. And then the same thing happened with the Jays last night with the 9 strikeouts. That was their rookie franchise or like debut record. I played him over tonight. I played Conley over 5.5 strikeouts tonight. And as you stated, it's already hit. He's already at 6. And I just figured, Scott, you talk about trends. You got to get ahead of the trend, right? Sort of like we talked about. It's so good to jump on like game 13 or whatnot. So we saw it. We'll keep riding it. It'll be interesting when he faces another team. And the Athletics are pretty free swinging as well, right? We're talking about a team that's just trying to murder the baseball, Scott, and put numbers up. Like, right? They're not worried about like the smart thing to do. It's
at this point.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to hit a double here, bro. Like I'm trying to I'm about me right now. Like I'm trying to. Yeah. I got a clause. I got 52 double. I need this. I need that. Like so, everybody's sort of like they're trying to hit the ball, but they are super aggressive at the plate. The Athletics. So I played the over. The question is, so I imagine next game they'll probably make it 6.5. Like I don't know who's gonna face. We can look at the schedule, but they'll start to bump it. But I love getting in, Scott. Same thing like with NBA rookies. NBA basketball's around the corner. Love getting in early, like, because you'll never get these players again at like 14.5, 13.5. Like, you have to have a leap of faith and sort of believe in who you like. And then, 3 weeks from now in the NBA or 3 weeks into the NBA, their props are going to be 21.5 after they've won 8 games in a row. The numbers will move in the NBA, but I love getting on these young players that people don't really know about. You know about early because you're a Red Sox fan. Yeah. We talked about that game against Sacramento, but my eyes lit up when I saw him pitching again tonight. I was like, I'm going right back to this early kid. And this was his home debut tonight too, right? So he had his debut. Now you got your Fenway Park debut. I knew we would be jacked up for this.
Yeah. And it's amazing, if you do your research, it's not that difficult. You can get their minor league numbers. And the kid last night for Toronto and early as well for the Red Sox, especially the kid last night, he was averaging like a strikeout and a half per inning.
We talked about it last night.
He was averaging over a strikeout as well. Yeah.
The kid in Toronto, though, really didn't have great numbers. He struck people out in the minors. Right? But we remember we talked about his ERA. It was like 4 this, high 3s, 4s. Yeah. But that's the thing in the minor leagues as well, guys. Everybody's trying to hit the ball. And I know it sounds cliche. Like, Sarah was trying to hit the ball. But, like, you know what I mean, Scott? It's like the G League in basketball. You don't get to the league by playing defense coming out of the G League, bro. Like, so everybody's bombing away. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like, it's a score-first mentality. So it's the same thing. Same thing in hockey. You'll see, like, goalies come up from the minor leagues. It'll be like, man, guy has like a 4 goals against average in the American Hockey League or whatnot, and in the AHL or in this league, in East Coast Hockey League. It's like, in East Coast Hockey League, he also faces like 52 shots a night.
Yeah,
right. Like there's a difference. Same thing like Quebec Major Junior Hockey, Scott. A lot of goalies come from Quebec, because it's a very offensive-minded league. So if you're a goalie in this Quebec league, you're getting ambushed, bro. Like 60 shots. Like Mario Lemieux played in the league. Sidney Crosby. Like it's a high-scoring offensive league. So it kind of makes sense, right? Yeah, the goalies are going to be good. And then once they get to the NHL and they're only facing like 25 shots, their life is actually easier and they're better.
Yeah, and that's how you get the better numbers, you know. Guys say that about baseball too with hitters. Guys will say, "Yeah, I can hit in the majors because the guys are throwing the ball over the plate. You try and hit in the minors,
yeah.
You know, it's left, right, and I don't want. No one wants walks in the minors, right? You want to swing, so you're swinging at things that are like 5 feet out of the strike zone. So
I've heard minor league hitters say too. They're like someone. I think it was a kid on the Astros. They said, "Man, you were hitting like 230 in the minors. They called you up and you're lighting it up in the bigs." He goes, "I'm not making excuses, but the stadiums we play in, the lights are terrible." He goes, "I can barely see the ball." Yeah. He goes, "In these big league stadiums, I can really see the ball. I love it."
Yeah. Like a batting practice and everything. So,
True, Scott. Imagine though you're playing in some small town in like Arkansas.
Yeah.
It's like you really think the lights are that bright, bro?
There.
Like, you know?
Yeah, no.
They got some kid throwing 99 at you. You're like, you know, it's all dark, bad angles, shadows, and stuff.
Yeah. So the PP, the public, it wasn't really a public parlay, but if you just played trends, you know, the play tonight was Cleveland, right? 9-1 their last 10. They're leading Detroit 3-1 bottom 6, and then Seattle
they're smoking hot,
10th straight win. Yeah. You know, the unfortunate thing for the Guard fan is I looked it up. MLB did a good job today giving out all the tiebreakers, Gabe. And Cleveland's got, like, no tiebreakers. They lose it against everybody because they don't beat good teams. So they're open to throw a half a game on top of how far they actually are behind. So little SGP coming up next here in the Grid.
Pitch today. It's like 5 in the morning. We hammer it. He tells everyone, listen, I'm telling you guys, Esteban Loaiza is in no condition to pitch tonight. We all like hammer it. We bet against the Toronto Blue Jays. We even went to the game, Scott, even. Esteban Loaiza, word of no lie, bro. He threw like 8 innings, a one-hit ball.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
They trade Marina Mabry, then they turn around, and then obviously they fire Teresa Weatherspoon, and it's been a hot mess. You go and, you know, draft Cardozo and Reese, basically 2 of the same player, meaning bigs that can't step out and shoot. So it's a little bit of a clown show when you talk about the Chicago Sky.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
He says, you can't get in a position, Tiger, Rory, Justin Thomas, those guys are this tall. You're never gonna be as flexible as them. You got a lot more leverage and like you got a lot of more moving parts than those dudes.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I like the shadows coming in, Neyland Stadium. Show me those 3:30. Back in the day,
we played all our games on Saturdays. Maybe 1 or 2 games on a Friday night away. I always loved that. Same thing in college. Hated Friday night football games in college.
I don't like. I understand why they do it prime time, and we have to play. But going back to when we grew up, Keith Jackson.
Yeah.
Action.
Throw another pancake on that plate. Yeah,
That's
let's go,
it.
Keith Jackson. That's my guy here.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back. It is In-Game Live Game Day here on the Grid. Third segment, hour number 1. Time for our SGP Same Game Parlay. Let's see. We can kind of continue where we left off last week. We hit a couple of these last week, so that was pretty nice. So we're going to go to the Arizona-San Francisco game. It's kind of like I'm going to bet one thing, but root on something else. I am rooting for the Giants because we got them to make the postseason. But those Arizona numbers pretty good. So let me go with Arizona minus the 130 at home against San Fran. We'll put our first flag there. We'll go with Marte to get a base hit. And we'll use 2 bases as well. That bumps it up a little bit. Perdomo there, Geraldo to get a run. He's their leadoff hitter. So Marte is getting a base hit a couple of batters later. The chances are halfway decent. He's going to score a run. Then we'll use Rafi Devers for San Francisco. Why not? That bumps the odds up. And if you just leave it at that, it's 5-1. Then I threw in that little third inning tie that I'm falling in love with, Gabe. I like these third inning stuff in fourth inning or whatever inning. I'm kind of getting into this tie. Now don't pick side to leave, but just give me a 0-0 or 1-1 third inning tie, and that bumps it all the way up to almost 12-1, 1170. So it's like you can leave it out, and it would be 5-1 if you add that in there. I like the third inning in particular because it should theoretically be the bottom of the order, at least one, if not 2 guys anyway. If things go as according to plan with the first inning, having 1 through 3 or 4, and then the second inning having 5, 6, 7, maybe 8. So the ninth inning, you almost like one batter behind already. So anyway, third inning tie, add it all up, plus 1170.
We talk a lot about the San Francisco Giants. And, I took them to make the playoffs. They're still knocking on the door right now. But if you'll notice, Scott, this week, they're out of arms, right? Like last night, it was not an ideal situation for them last night, right? That's why I didn't bet on them. I was kind of hoping they were going to win on their own, but I didn't bet it because I already bet them to make the playoffs. At a similar situation tonight. It's basically like another bullpen game for them tonight. It's tough, right? They play every day, basically, in baseball. So depth really comes into play, man, right, with a Major League Baseball team. If they can survive, Scott, it's like you said last night, I thought it was an astute point. At this time of the year, if you're battling to get to the playoffs, the 2-1s aren't almost like it's not really good enough. And, 1 and 2 isn't good for you, but if you can escape, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, things went bad. We lost the first 2. But, we pulled out the last one. We only lost a half game in the mix here, with everybody else. And we can start winning a couple of games again. But San Francisco are in a tough spot once again tonight, where, considering the pitching situation.
Yeah. I mean, how's that possible? I mean, we all know the baseball season, Gabe, it's example number 55 gazillion. The baseball season, it's just too long. It's just too darn long. You should not be heading into the final 2 weeks of the season and having to go bullpen by committee or bringing up kids in the minors that really don't deserve to be here.
These kids in the pitching, Scott, that are good. It's not by choice the teams are doing it. They're out of arms. Like, seriously, you know what I mean? I guarantee you, if you asked the Red Sox 2 months ago, they didn't say, we're going to call up that Conley Early kid in mid-September, and he's going to strike a bunch of people out for us. They just hope for the best. They're out of arms. He's doing the best. You know what I mean? All right, you're up, kid.
Yeah,
Look at the other guy. Who was the other guy? Tanji, told you?
Yeah, Savage there. He's got an ERA of 4 in AAA. Right? I mean, he doesn't deserve to be in the majors.
No, but the same thing, and I saw the video. That's why I knew about him, because I saw the video when they were like, hey, you know what? You're pitching against Paul Skeens tomorrow. They're out of arms, Scott. Just point blank. These teams are out of arms. And they'll never shorten stuff. They always expand it. We can talk, the fact is, before it was 162, it was 154. Right? So I think if we you could sell that, Scott. And to be honest, whatever. Rob Manfred could give 2 craps about baseball tradition, right? So who cares about traditions left the building a long time ago, college football, etc., whatever, all this stuff. So I'm just saying, Scott, but for the baseball purist, say, you know what, you're tampering with stuff. 162 was fine. Well, we used to play 154 not that long ago. So it's not insane to say. And you could also argue, and we also only had one team in the playoffs in division. So now you're playing 162, Scott, and then all these stupid playoff series Reggie Jackson, you're supposed to be Mr. October, not Mr. November.
Yeah. They're sacrificing the postseason, Gabe, by having these teams play 3 straight days in one city. There's no going back and forth. You're playing 162 games. Why not play 154 and have a little leeway there?
And then, Scott,
the 5.
The team that survives the wild card is screwed because they got to play the next day, and they're out of arms. They made them play all year, and then they can't even prepare. They got to start the series with their worst arms. I pitched today. It's like 5 in the morning. We hammer it. He tells everyone, listen, I'm telling you guys, Esteban Loaiza is in no condition to pitch tonight. We all hammer it. We bet against the Toronto Blue Jays. We even went to the game, Scott, even. Esteban Loaiza, word of no lie, bro. He threw 8 innings, a one-hit ball.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
They trade Marina Mabry, then they turn around, and then obviously they fire Teresa Weatherspoon, and it's been a hot mess. You go and, draft Cardozo and Reese, basically two of the same player, meaning bigs that can't step out and shoot. So it's a little bit of a clown show when you talk about the Chicago Sky.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
He says, you can't get in a position, Tiger, Rory, Justin Thomas, those guys are this tall. You're never gonna be as flexible as them. You got a lot more leverage and you got a lot of more moving parts in those dudes.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I like the shadows coming in, Neyland Stadium. Show
High
me those
school,
3:30.
Joe,
Back
we
in the
played
day,
all our games on Saturdays. Maybe one or two games on a Friday night away. I always loved that. Same thing in college. Hated Friday night football games in college.
I understand why they do it prime time and we have to play. But going back to when we grew up, Keith Jackson.
Yeah.
Action.
Throw another pancake on that plate. Yeah,
That's
let's go,
it.
Keith Jackson. That's my guy here.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe. We'll put the baseball aside for a second. We got one WNBA playoff game going on. It's at the half, and then we got one more starting in about an hour or so. So let's welcome in our first guest of the evening, Danny Barlavi. He watches the NBA, bets on the WNBA on the Bet She Wins podcast with Calvin Wetzel. No relation to me. I think we've had him on the program once or twice, and Jim Turvey from Action Network. I think we've had him on here as well. So Danny, Scott, and Gabe, how are you tonight, bud?
Doing good. Yeah, doing good here. Enjoying some WNBA playoff basketball. I'm a little bit surprised by how this one's going so far. Kind of felt like the Fever's season might be over today, but they've come out real strong. They're defending really peskily, which is a real Stephanie White thing, really what she looks for from her team. So, yeah, they've really bothered Atlanta. Atlanta's 1 of 10 from deep, trailing by just 6, though. Should be a good second half.
Are you more surprised?
I think Atlanta's going to come back, guys. I think Atlanta's going to come back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got a good deal of futures on Atlanta making the semifinals and winning this series, so I'm not touching it right now. But if I didn't have that action, I would say hit the live line on Atlanta, hit the spread, hit the money line. Just with the shooting variance where it is right now, they're 1 of 10 from deep. You know, if they made just 2 or 3 more of these, they'd be tied in this game or even up 3. The Fever, they're shooting 40% from the floor, which is a little bit high from them, 4 of 10. I do think that, both of these teams are due for regression the other way. I think Atlanta starts respecting Indiana, especially Kelsey Mitchell from deep a little bit more in that second half, making life a little bit more difficult for them and, hitting some of them on their own. Very boring statsy kind of analysis, but shooting variance is a big thing.
Yeah, are you more surprised that the scoring is so low? I like Gabe. I thought we'd have a ton of points. I like to go what was opposite of what happened in the first game, but Indiana shot so poorly. I thought they were I know everyone is hurt for them, but I still thought they would come out and run up and down the court and there'd be a whole more points. Are you more surprised it's a low-scoring game or that Atlanta's actually trailing?
I'm more surprised that Atlanta is trailing, but I hear what you mean. I feel like in playoff series, there is always that push and pull, that bounce back effect, if you will. But in a way, this has flipped the script a little bit. It is like a similar one team struggling, the other team owning them defensively kind of game. It's just, the gloves on the other hand now. It's Atlanta that's struggling to score. It's Indiana that's locked in defensively. More of the same, just the other direction.
Yeah, I'm not shocked, guys. I was worried. I like the over, Scott, like you. The first game was a little, it was sloppy or, it's the playoffs, so everything's going to tighten up a little bit. But I figured Indiana would say, I thought if Indiana needed to win the game, they were going to have to push the pace and just try to make it a frenetic, kind of crazy game. But I get the feeling Atlanta do come back. They're plus 2.5 right now, plus 140 on the money line. As you stated, Danny, they didn't play very well. They didn't hit any shots from the outside. They're only down by 6 right now. They could sort of take the crowd out of it. But guys, my eyes sort of lit up about, we can talk about the Aces and their dominance, and I've been a big Aces supporter throughout the year. I told people don't give up on them. But as far as the total, Danny and Scott, tonight, I mean, we had 179 points in the first game. So Seattle can talk about playing better defense, and they might be able to play better defense. We got a 17-point still window here with tonight's total, and this Aces team is on fire. What do you think, Danny, about the total tonight? Because I like the over the Vegas game more than I like the over this Indiana game coming into tonight.
Yeah, no, I don't have a play on this total, but I'd probably have it more close to it's at, I think, 161.5 right now. I'd definitely have it closer to the mid 160s. We'll see if the Aces are able to push the pace again. I could see it reaching the 170s. I could see the Aces laying 100 on a defeated Seattle team. Defense is their identity, and they have a lot of great defensive talent, but the product hasn't been there. They haven't been more than the sum of their parts on defense, and that's part of the reason I do lead Las Vegas once again in this game. I still just think that the line isn't quite caught up to how good the Aces have been over the last month and change since the beginning of August, and how bad Seattle has been to round out the season. I just think with the form these teams are in, the Aces run away with it again.
Yeah, kind of a weird line, Danny. Gabe and I were talking yesterday that game one, I saw 6, and then when I went back later in the day to put it in, it went down to 5.5. And I'm thinking Vegas at home, 5.5, right? That's kind of weird. So they blow them out, and yet now they're a 4.5 point favorite on the road. I mean, you're right. You're saying it there. There seems to be a lack of respect for this Las Vegas team. What am I missing here? To me, they've beaten Seattle 8 of their last 10. They've covered all but 3 of those games. I don't know how Seattle wins tonight or even covers.
Yeah, I agree with that. It does kind of seem interesting that they hung that 5.5 and then, hung it around the same place on the road again, kind of admitting they were wrong in that first game with home court flipping factored in. But, I still think that they don't quite understand how far off they were in that first game. And, the Aces are just playing as well as they have at any point in the last couple of years when they looked really dominant. They seem very back. They're peaking at the right time, as the cliche goes when you're entering the playoffs. And Seattle peaked about 2 months ago, and they're on their decline. It feels like the vibes are atrocious in Seattle right now, as they have been for a few years now. And, looking at Las Vegas, this is a team that is so happy right now, that is so locked in, playing so well with each other. I just really love Vegas here.
We should have been like college football, guys, in which we just say, Florida State, you can't play. You're not allowed in the playoffs. Should have said the same thing to Seattle Storm, because the LA Sparks were actually the funner team down the stretch, Danny.
Yep.
Right? If they would be fun in here, hitting shots and stuff and playing with that energy. Guys, the Storm, like you said, you got a team that's won 17 games in a row in Vegas. The Seattle Storm, really backed into the playoffs. They were lucky to get into the playoffs. 2-8 against the spread the last 10 games. I'm going to play Jackie Young tonight. She's been on fire from 3. Over 1.5 made threes. 7 of the last 8 games. Look, she finished the regular season, 6 of the last 7 games, guys, that she hit 1.5 or more threes. The playoff game, she did it again. So, Danny, I'm not going to get in front of a 7-1 run for Jackie Young. And she's averaging like 5 3-point attempts, right? And it's all about the attempts. So, all right, she's got to hit basically 2 or 5 of them, but she's been doing it.
Yeah, no, I like that play. I think, Jackie is very much so a playoff riser. She, she came off of the Olympics last year not looking right. And, towards the end of the season, I think a big X factor for Vegas has been she finally looks healthy. Another prop I really love here is A'ja Wilson under 3.5 assists. My props model has this closer to 2.5, maybe even like 2.3. And I just don't think that in this matchup, A'ja is really going to be looking to pass. 3.5 is a very high line for her, looking at her career playoff numbers. I just think this is another game like last game where she puts her head down, gets to the line, gets to the bucket, scores. I wouldn't be surprised to see her have a couple of assists there, but I don't think that's where her focus is. And I think that they're going to try to crowd her. And, I think putting it up and trying to draw the contact is going to be a little bit easier for her than passing out of it.
Interesting. FanDuel doesn't, they offer assists. Maybe it'll change when we get a little bit closer to game time, but we're less than an hour away. But they'll offer, like, will she get 2? Will she get 4, 6, 8? Like, they don't give us the exact, like, number. Or, okay, here's the number 3.5 tonight. So you can't bet an under on her. Interesting. So, we'll see how
that
it turns out.
That says to me that if you can't get the under, get the under. That's what that says to me.
Yeah, exactly. So find a spot that does offer it, because it looks like maybe the unders are going to come in. Danny, great job. Check out his podcast, Bet She Wins, with Calvin Wetzel from CBS Sports and Jim Turvey from Action Network. Good job, Danny. We'll do it again soon. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Pitch today. It's like 5 in the morning. We hammer it. He tells everyone, listen, I'm telling you guys, Esteban Loaiza is in no condition to pitch tonight. We all hammer it. We bet against the Toronto Blue Jays. We even went to the game, Scott, even. Esteban Loaiza, word of no lie, bro. He threw 8 innings, a 1-hit ball.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
They trade Marina Mabrey, then they turn around, and then obviously they fire Teresa Weatherspoon, and it's been a hot mess. You go and, draft Cardozo and Reese, basically 2 of the same player, meaning bigs that can't step out and shoot. So it's a little bit of a clown show when you talk about the Chicago Sky.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
He says, you can't get in a position, Tiger, Rory, Justin Thomas, those guys are this tall. You're never gonna be as flexible as them. You got a lot more leverage and you got a lot of more moving parts than those dudes.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I like the shadows coming in, Neyland Stadium. Show me those 3:30.
Joe,
Back in the
played
day,
all our games on Saturdays. Maybe 1 or 2 games on a Friday night away. I always loved that. Same thing in college. Hated Friday night football games in college.
I understand why they do it prime time and we have to play. But going back to when we grew up, Keith Jackson.
Yeah.
Action.
Throw another pancake on that plate. Yeah,
That's
let's go,
it.
Keith Jackson. That's my guy here.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. So thanks very much for joining us as Mr. Barmani, just a little WNBA, getting distracted here. He did it again. 56 for Cal Raleigh. Just hit a bomb for the Mariners, ties Ken Griffey Jr.'s record for most home runs of the season for the Seattle Mariners. I don't know. Yeah, you think he's going to get – I'm wondering, does FanDuel offer a goofy prop like that as far as will he hit 60? That's the goal, right?
Yeah.
60 home run. You know what's crazy is he's doing it in meaningful games, you know? Albeit a blowout tonight.
Oh,
but
super
you think he'll
impressive.
get 64 more? Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I say he would at this pace. They're playing in critical games. He's going to play in every game. He's going to get at-bats. He could be playing against teams. It can't be like, they're going to be trying to win as well, so he's going to be facing pitches. But I'm kicking myself. This is why sometimes, Scott, too much information or knowing things like, with trends or this or that. Logan Gilbert is not very good on the road. Like, you know what I mean? As one of these, he's got an ERA, like at home, it's like 2.13. He's dominant at home. He goes on the road. This is when he loses all of his games on the road. But I'm kicking myself because I did like Seattle today, right? Just from a not looking at any numbers or anything, I'm like, yeah, Seattle, this is sort of like one of these playoff eliminator type of series again. They'll beat Kansas City tonight. And I actually like Gilbert, but I sort of bought off of he gets hit on the road and, we'll see what happens. 9-0 right now. And Raleigh's going off, as you stated.
Yeah. I do that all the time too, right? You like something, then you start, okay, let me read into it a little bit, and then you start hearing some stats and trends and information like, maybe I better not, right? And I kind of did that with the A's tonight. I took the early strikeouts.
Well, dude, they've won 9 in a row.
Just
back to the quickly with the Mariners. Yeah, like the Mariners have been hot too. So it's like, yeah, okay, Gilbert gets hit on the road sometimes, but they're also, they're also smoking hot right now.
Yeah. So you had to play them just because you could have had Cy Young pitching for Kansas City. I'm now playing Seattle, right? So, but I kind of did that with the A's tonight. I'm a Red Sox fan, so I don't want to have bet on Oakland or Sacramento, whatever you want to call them, the A's, right? So I said, let me do team total A's. Because I did think they were going to get to early, so I thought that was a tough spot. It was only 3.5. I said, the Red Sox can win 5-4, 6-5. I could kind of root for both, right? So it is 2-1. A's just grabbed 2 runs in the top of the 6th, but I'm setting myself up for kicking myself because the A's are going to win this thing 2-1, and I should have just bet the A's on my hunch play, even though Early did pitch well. But yeah, we all go through all those goofy little bets that you want to make, you don't make.
They've got, and you just hope that it evens out that there are plays that you don't make that actually lost, right? As well. Right. So in hindsight, and it's hard. Sometimes it's a better. You want to force it. You like it. You're going to do it. So patience. Sometimes it's not a sin to pass up a bet. I'll put it that way. We feel like it is as gamblers at times, but quickly here, the Athletics too. They could have added more. They had runners on first and third, but Boston do get out of it. So down 2-1 right now. Boston now plus 115 on the money line.
Yeah, I'll give you another one. And this is just, and I say to the guys on the podcast, Gabe, this stuff you just have to have luck. If you're a winning gambler, you just have to have just luck. Like NFL season, I thought there were going to be a bunch of overs week number 1 with the kickoff rules and everything else we saw in the preseason, right? So for $30, I put in a 6-game round robin 5-team parlay. So of course there's 6 different combinations. And if it hits for $30, it pays about $600, right? Decent little payout for $30, right? So I got this hunch. I think they got nothing but overs, right? So what do we get week number 1? Nothing but unders, right? So week number 2, I tell myself, your system is good. Just believe it, right? And then at the last second, I say, nah, we're going to have unders again this week. So I do the same thing, except I put the unders in, right? And then we all know what happened. Every game went over. So it's just simple fate. Like if I would have just stuck to my guns for $30 stinking and just played, have some fun, little 6-game round robin part, I would have won $600. But it's just sometimes the fate is just, and I just as easily could have clicked 6 overs, but I put the 6 unders in. So
I could tell you horror stories that have a lot more than $30 attached to it over the last couple of weeks.
I'm sure, but it's just one of those, goofy things.
I will say that something in the NFL that we've seen over the last couple of games, like these primetime games. And I remind people, I've been saying, for years, there's no such thing as a lock. Every lock has a key. And the unpredictability factor of the NFL, you can handicap for 12 hours a day. You can do this. You can know that. Yeah. You can whatever, dude. You could be going out with the running back's sister. Good for you. It won't help you win, right? First time, look, dude, the Ravens lose a game 277-0. Teams, that score 40 or more points and 225 yards. We've seen this. We've seen a game already with 8 drives in the first 8 drives of the game. There were points in the Eagles-Cowboy game. Game stayed under the number somehow, right? And it was a lightning delay. How about last night? How about last night in the second half? The Raiders go on an 11-minute drive and get 3 points out of it. Dude, there were 2 drives. Like, the Chargers took up basically the entire third quarter and got a field goal. And then the Raiders got the ball. It took 11 minutes and got a field goal, and the game was over suddenly. And it had no chance of going over. You can't, you can't predict, what is going to happen. Besides, I guess, the Browns and Jets suck. I mean, I guess that's something you can predict. There's certain things in the world that don't change. You know what I'm saying? But, these games, Scott, you don't know. Look at last night, the Tampa game. Started off a bunch of points, totally slowed down after, right? The NFL, you really, proceed with caution. Never think you really know what's going to happen because these primetime games prove to us that we don't.
Yeah. Second week in a row. We talked a little bit about it last night. Majority of the games, week number 1 on Sunday, go under, but the primetime games all go over. This past Sunday, majority of the Sunday games go over. All the primetime games went under. Go figure. All right? Quirky little thing. I don't think there's anything to it outside of just being a little quirky little thing. People betting the unders all day Sunday said, all right, forget this. Let's go with the overs again. And then you bet the overs in the primetime games, and those are the ones that go under. And that's when
there's no first down
against the wall.
We didn't get our first touchdown of the game until there was 2 minutes left on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, brutal.
Pitch today. It's 5 in the morning. We hammer it. He tells everyone, listen, I'm telling you guys, Esteban Loaiza is in no condition to pitch tonight. We all hammer it. We bet against the Toronto Blue Jays. We even went to the game, Scott, even. Esteban Loaiza, word of no lie, bro. He threw 8 innings, a 1-hit ball.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
They trade Marina Mabry, then they turn around, and then obviously they fire Teresa Weatherspoon, and it's been a hot mess. You go and, draft Cardozo and Reese, basically 2 of the same player, meaning bigs that can't step out and shoot. So it's a little bit of a clown show when you talk about the Chicago Sky.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
He says, you can't get in a position, Tiger, Rory, Justin Thomas, those guys are this tall. You're never gonna be as flexible as them. You got a lot more leverage and you got a lot of more moving parts than those dudes.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I like the shadows coming in, Neyland Stadium. Show me those 3:30.
Joe,
Back
we
in the
played
day,
all our games on Saturdays. Maybe 1 or 2 games on a Friday night away. I always loved that. Same thing in college. Hated Friday night football games in college.
I understand why they do it prime time and we have to play. But going back to when we grew up, Keith Jackson.
Yeah.
Action.
Throw another pancake on that plate. Yeah, let's go, Keith Jackson. That's my guy here.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Final segment, hour number 1. We're cruising along here. Time for our best play, Black Cloud Play of the Day. Limited schedule, right? Most of the baseball stuff is underway already, although we have a couple of games, but I do like this one regardless. We can have a full slate of baseball. Going to use the WNBA late game, which starts in about 40 minutes or so at 9:30 Eastern time. Las Vegas and Seattle. I'm going to grab Las Vegas. Listen, this team has won 17 straight games, beat up Seattle by 25 plus, 25 to be exact. 102-77 in game number 1 Sunday. I don't think they're going to win by 25 again this time around, but I'm going to grab them minus 1.5. I won't ask you to lay the money line, which is almost 2-1. I'll take a little bite off that. Lay 1.5. I'll take my chances they don't win by 1, and it's minus 170. I looked it up. Interesting. Last 3 years, first round of the playoffs. They won game 1 last year against the same Seattle team. They won game 2 by 7 points. 2 years ago, they win game 1. They win game 2 by 22 points. 3 years ago, they win game 1. They win game 2 by 37 points. They've won 7 straight first-round games.
Then why are you laying minus 170? Like, why do you want to lay minus 170 on anything?
I don't know.
That's just like...
I know. I should just lay the 4.5 points. I get it, but I should just take it by the money line, not worry about it. But
I personally don't like laying points, but I'm going to do it. These are my plays for this game, and the Storm are not very good. Like, they really aren't. They're not in a good cycle. Right. Like, they're not like, oh yeah, we're going to win this game or we're going to beat the Aces in game 3. They just lost 102-77. Like, they just got lit up. And they're 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games, coming into the playoffs. They really backed in to the playoffs. Remember, they beat the Sparks, but they didn't cover the spread. They won by 1, or it was the Valkyries, whatever. They won that one game that they needed by 1 point. They barely got in. You add it up, and pardon the pun, but it really is a perfect storm against the Storm tonight, guys. The Storm are 2-8 in their last 10 games. The Aces are 8-2 straight up against Seattle the last 10 times they played. The Aces have won 17 games in a row. They're 13-3-1 against the point spread during this run. They just smoked them. 4 of the last 5 times that the Aces and Storm have played, it has gone over the number as well. So we got a 161.5, 162 right now, I guess, depending on where you're playing. So I'm going to lay the 4.5 with the Aces. I'm going to play the over, and we're going to play Jackie Young, as I stated, 7-1 the last 8 games. She has hit 2 or more 3-point shots. But if I had to pick one bet in this game, Scott, and as good as the Aces are, I like the over a lot. Like, I looked at this game today, not as sort of the bailout, but kind of, you know what I mean? I was like, well, hit that game at the end of the night tonight. I'm gonna hit that over tonight. I think we get there over 162. Look at the Aces and what they've done offensively during their streak. 97s, 92s, like they're scoring in the 90s, or they get to 100 type of deal. Yeah, they're on the road tonight, but even if you sort of slow them down, we can still get to 162.
Yeah. I generally side with the over or under play. If I'm split 50-50, I lean towards, I'm more comfortable, more confident, whatever you want to call it, with the over under. But this one, when it's so I got 17 straight wins, I don't want to have to worry about this being 100-50 and the game sneaks under, or something goofy like that, 90-60.
Well, that's the thing.
Under.
At least if it doesn't go over, I think it's because Seattle doesn't score enough. Right? So Vegas would get us the cover then. And I hate to correlate it to try to get smart enough to predict how the game's going to go in multiple formats. Hell, I'm losing this first WNBA game right now. So I'm not I don't have some crystal ball here, but I'm just thinking if it doesn't get to 162, it means the Aces just won 80-70 or 80-68, and Seattle gets blown out and kind of quits as the game goes on.
Yeah. How about Asia Wilson? You like her point total? It's 24.5. She had 29 the other day.
I'm not betting against her. Would you want to get in front of her in a playoff game?
No.
You and I talked about it down the stretch. Down the stretch, man. She came out of the game sometimes. Endor, she would she'd score 20, 19, and she didn't care the other team scoring. But I thought Danny had a good point, of which in the playoffs, she's kind of just give me the ball and get out of my way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And if you read the quotes like that, which could be dangerous, but Las Vegas had the attitude like it's only one game. We got bigger fish to fry. It's 1 out of 9. Want to go 9 wins. So I don't think there'll be any kind of letdown. And Wilson,
they don't want this. They don't want it going free, Scott. They want to end it.
Yeah. So I like Wilson over 24.5 points as well.
Pitch today. It's like 5 in the morning. We hammer it. He tells everyone, listen, I'm telling you guys, Esteban Loaiza is in no condition to pitch tonight. We all hammer it. We bet against the Toronto Blue Jays. We even went to the game, Scott, even. Esteban Loaiza, word of no lie, bro. He threw 8 innings, a one-hit ball.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
They trade Marina Mabry, then they turn around, and then obviously they fire Teresa Weatherspoon, and it's been a hot mess. You go and, draft Cardozo and Reese, basically 2 of the same player, meaning bigs that can't step out and shoot. So it's a little bit of a clown show when you talk about the Chicago Sky.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
He says, you can't get in a position, Tiger, Rory, Justin Thomas, those guys are this tall. You're never gonna be as flexible as them. You got a lot more leverage and you got a lot of more moving parts than those dudes.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I like the shadows coming in, Neyland Stadium. Show me those 3:30. Back
we
in the
played
day,
all our games on Saturdays. Maybe 1 or 2 games on a Friday night away. I always loved that. Same thing in college. Hated Friday night football games in college.
I don't like. I understand why they do it prime time, and we have to play. But going back to when we grew up, Keith Jackson.
Yeah.
Action.
Throw another pancake on that plate. Yeah, let's go,
it.
Keith Jackson. That's my guy here.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid. Hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Scott and Gabe till 10 p.m. Eastern time. So we got a little WNBA action we talked about there. And we got some baseball.
I don't know if it's action, Scott. Let's not lie.
What is
Let's not lie. I don't know if it's
What?
action because I'm watching the game, and me and Wetzel are big supporters of the WNBA. As everybody knows, we talk WNBA all the time. We like betting on it and stuff. But this is a hard watch, man. It's just a hard watch. I'm just being honest. It's 40-37. They've been playing since over an hour on TV here, and it's just missed shots. Everything is reviewed, Scott. The refereeing is terrible in the WNBA. Every review takes 5 minutes. And, they were reviewing a hand, someone got slapped on the wrist earlier, bro, for 7 minutes, dude. It's at this point, like I said, if I was the coach, I don't care. Really, call a tech, give her the free throw. At this point.
Right.
Because, you've killed the flow of the game. And there's no flow to this game at all. It's just, chunky, boom, crash. I get it. Indiana are fighting for their lives, their playoff lives. So they're going to do whatever it takes. And it's just really ugly. But I maintain, dude, the Fever got up by double digits early. And Atlanta, they were down 30-19. The wheels were falling off for them. They've chipped away here, Scott. It's 40-37. As ugly as it is, I believe the Atlanta Dream will win this basketball game. We said it at the half, and it was plus 145 or something. It's minus 115 right now, so the odds makers agree. But our over, your over, my over, it's so gone, bro. We can go to triple overtime. I'm not sure we'll get there.
I know. They're shooting 1 of
That's when
13.
you know you got a bad bet. Hey, when it's I went to overtime, we still lost the over.
We still lost, yeah. It literally could go to double overtime, and I think we still would probably lose this bet. I mean, They're shooting 1 of 13. Atlanta is. This is one of the better 3-point shooting teams. 1 of 13. And they're shooting 38%
Dude, they were
overall.
1 of 10 at the half. They haven't hit one in the second half still. It's a miracle. They're only down 3. That's what I'm saying. They have to hit a 3-point shot eventually. And it's like, suddenly a few are going to go in and the game's going to be over, for Indiana. But, man, I swear, Scott, I'm just thinking about what's the score going to be with 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes left in this game? 60s? We're going to, 60 to 58 battle type thing? Dude, I don't even know if we get to 137.5, which the total is, right? I don't want to bet the over. And normally I'd be chasing this right now.
Right. Yeah, what makes you think it's going to all of a sudden flip? I mean, that's a big number. They only have 77, so you're going to get
to the mid-60s, both of them.
Yeah. I mean, unless there's fouling in the end, but I don't think that's the case.
And Scott, it's the fourth quarter coming up of an elimination game. They're going to start really beating the crap out of each other in the fourth.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, I hate to go the opposite of what I have, but my over and your over is so down the road, forget it. We're 25 points away from that. We could kind of bail and just go under.
Let me see what my cash out is. They're offering me a cash out. Before it was kind of comical. I got a chuckle. They're offering me $3.98 for $150. So that's the chance we got, Scott. Not even a Big Mac. Yeah. Here's $3.98. Here's your $3.98 if you want some money back for your bad bet. I should almost take the $4. I should almost take it.
Hey, kid, go get yourself some fries down the street. Otherwise, get out of my town here. Wow. I did, man. I did like that over. Game. Yeah, on to the next game. On to Seattle.
Vegas,
we'll make it back, folks. We'll make it back on Vegas.
What about tomorrow? We got 2 games tomorrow. I like when the good teams are at home. Sunday was easy. Money line parlays and stuff. That was just this is really easy. You go on the road, elimination games. It makes it trickier, So
Golden State. Golden State's 10-point home dog.
They got lit up in game 1. The Minnesota Lynx are flexing their muscles over the last week and a half. They're not
Yeah.
We see why they're favorites, Scott. We could talk about this player, that player, but Collier is amazing, man. And they're deep. They got a chip on their shoulder. They're a dangerous team, but so are Vegas. And Liberty showing signs of life. What do you think of that? The Liberty, I hate to say it because you and I have ripped them so much, but I think they're going to win tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm going to go right back on Phoenix. It's interesting. Phoenix, it was basically picking 1.5 points. I think the Liberty were favored by 1.5 on the road. They win, right? Albeit overtime, but they get the win. And now they're
it wasn't easy for them. You're right. It was close as hell. Yeah, it was close. Yeah, like you said, it went to OT. Yeah.
Yeah. So normally they would make that Liberty, in this case, a 4.5 point favor, right? You're 1.5 on the road. You win. You're back home. You got to give yourself 3 more points, but they didn't do that. So I think Phoenix still wins the series. I put a couple shekels on them. I got them at 250 to 1 to win it all because they're down 1-0. I'm like, okay, I don't think that's going to really happen. But I got a bigger bet on Minnesota, and they would face Minnesota next. So it's kind of a little bit of a head. You want to give me Phoenix at 250 to 1? All right. Because they're down 1-0. Really? I think they win
number.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Here come the Indiana Fever right now. They're going on a little run.
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton's going crazy courtside right now. This guy he's at the football game the other day, at the Colt game. Now he's here at this basketball game. This guy's everywhere.
Yeah.
In Indianapolis. Yeah, the crowd's going crazy. Caitlin Clark and Cunningham going crazy on the bench. And they hit a 3. They got a turnover. And just like that, they got a 10-point lead. 47-37. This is a disaster for the Atlanta Dream.
Yeah. I got the Dream. I got the over. And this is just get this game over with. You know what? Put me out of my misery. I still think they're going to come back and make it close. You get 6.5, but again.
Wow. Plus 265 money line now. I was just saying, I still think they're going to win.
Yeah.
They still could.
Yeah.
They're still there's 3 minutes left in the third. But they've hit 1 3-point shot all night. It's impossible. I don't care what gender you are and what league you're in. In today's day and age, if you hit 1 3-point shot, you're not winning the basketball game. There's my expert basketball analysis, Wetzel. It's impossible to win if you go 1 for 13 from 3.
If they were scoring and just needed to pick up the defense, then it's like, okay, you could turn the defense on. Hey, guys, we're not guarding anybody. But I don't know if you could all of a sudden say, okay, we're going to start making shots, because you purposely don't play good defense. You could change that. You don't purposely miss for 3.5 quarters and all of a sudden say, okay, we're going to start hitting our shots. So I'm still holding out hope. I doubled down on them. I grabbed on the money line a second ago.
What about 137.5 now? So we're up to 84.
84.
So we're up to 80. 84,
at least we're getting one team winning. We got to get one.
Yeah.
Still holding out. If we can
it's
get
still
it
a little
to,
high for me.
If we can get it to 65, can we get 70? Might be asking too much. 65.
We need like 50 and a half points still. You're looking for the overtime 60.
77. Can we get to 70?
I'm dead serious. I think if we got
70 overtime, we got a shot.
If we got to double overtime, I think we could do this. Like it has to be double. I swear, Scott, I once lost a college basketball bet that I had the over of a game. It was it might have been the worst bet I ever made because I think it went to double overtime and I still lost. And I remember saying, I need triple overtime. It'll get there. It'll get there with triple. And it didn't. And then after, it's like you said, what are you going to do? When you bet it over and it goes to double overtime and you didn't win, it was a bad bet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, just point blank.
I hit one of those NBA, the Patrick Ewing Knicks versus Orlando Magic when they were playing like 81-80 games, and I had the over, and it went to triple overtime.
You were praying for like an overtime.
Yeah. They were getting like 3-4 points in each overtime. It was just like watching, paint dry. But I actually hit it there with the triple overtime. Yeah, so, all right, we'll check out the baseball board when we come back in Game 5.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe checking out a little WNBA playoff action, some baseball as well. So
it's opening up, Wetzel.
Yeah. We're not
a little bit of faith here. It's up to 141.5, but I'm watching. Yeah, 141.5.
Okay.
I got my bet in, guys, during the break. Degenerate enough, I said over 137.5, but it's the pace, Wetzel. It's frantic right now.
Finally.
It's like suddenly Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta, I love it. They realize we're not hitting threes. They're just taking off to the rack now. Like they're picking up the pace. Like they realize, like we're not. This is slipping away. We've got to get back. Like there's definitely a sense of urgency with the Dream right now. Give credit to the Fever though. They're really balling and making plays, but it's suddenly got entertaining. There's a flow. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, dude, this game was going nowhere quick. It's 54-44 suddenly right now, Scott. Hey, let's go 74-74 overtime. Like suddenly it's a puncher's chance. Like, single overtime, we might win now. Yeah, single overtime.
You're getting a little greedy. Yeah, we've reduced it. We started at like the triple overtime.
Double, triple.
We got it down to double,
single.
And now we're at single.
Give us overtime.
Right.
Yeah.
Give us overtime. Get a couple technical fouls and some, whatever we can have. So who knows? Maybe we'll get it back to
if
regulation.
Atlanta could start hitting a few threes, man, it would. If they could start hitting a few threes, would really be in business.
At least, I will say this, at least like the potential is there in that they're the team that's trailing and they're the team that could theoretically hit their threes, right? So it'd be better to have them trailing than them leading by 10 and try and kill the clock and expect Indiana with, 4 backups playing. So at least we got the better team trailing as far as the over is concerned, but we actually both have Atlanta, so we need Atlanta to win the game. So, all right, so we got
the Aces game's coming up. I know we talked about it already. Just a warning for everybody. It's sneaky. It's not at 10 o'clock. It's at 9:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
So, because I see it's already on the in-game card right now, Scott, waiting to be bet right now. So, tip-off's coming up.
Yeah. Not sure why they moved it, because normally I guess because they just want to go back-to-back network TV, I guess. They're waiting for the first game to be over rather than have a 45-minute open window. So, so it's up to 5 on FanDuel. I would still lay it. Like I said. Baseball, nice job by the Mets today. They're going to win, barring something crazy. They're up 8-2. So that puts a lot of pressure on Arizona, San Francisco. Uh-oh, what do you got?
Holy smokes. The Indiana Fever guys, they just scored 9 points in the last minute here. They hit a 3, got a steal, scored the 2, and got a steal and hit a 3 type of deal. Scott, it just ballooned the lead. Suddenly it's 59-44, just like that, man. We cut the lead to 5, a couple of 3. It was 40-37.
Wow.
They put up 39 points. This is what I expected for the game. They put up 39 points in the third. They won the third quarter 24-15. In-game total, Scott, 143.5 right now.
Yeah. It's that second quarter that really killed us. 30 points. Atlanta scored 14, 15, and 15 points in the 3 quarters.
Not good enough, man.
If you would have told me that Atlanta wouldn't score more than 15 points in any of the first 3 quarters, I'd be like, no way. Indiana, maybe. Atlanta? Wow. I don't think they would ever pull the starters. You're not going to give up on a playoff game in a best-of-3 series, but...
No, it's only 3 games, so, they're going to put the pedal to the metal here.
Yeah. So, again, at least the scenario is there where you got to figure, I will say this, right? Indiana's got to be good for, 11, 12, 13 points. So they're going to get their 70-plus if it does go to overtime. So... you're kind of looking at a 74-74. You're going to need a monster quarter, obviously, out of Atlanta, but, it's not dead yet.
I did play Mitchell. I played Mitchell over 19.5 points. She scored 27 for the Fever in game 1. She's at 19 right now as we go into the fourth quarter. I don't want to mush. We've seen this before, right? On a nightly basis, but she should get another single point in this game. But I also played Alicia Gray over 16.5 points, Scott. She's at 9 right now. She'll probably get more aggressive. She's not hitting shots, dude. She's 4 of 14. Hillman, 4 of 10 from the field. None of these players. Howard, 3 of 5. She's been okay. For the most part here, there's been just a lot of bad shooting in this basketball game.
Yeah. See, if Alicia wants to get into that really top tier. She's a really good player.
Yeah.
But if she wants to be like really, then you can't have games like this in the postseason. You know, you just can't. You know, when your team is struggling, it's going to happen. You know,
well, she can finish strong still, but you're right. You're right.
So.
She's got to step up. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Howard's the leading scorer with 10 points, and she's 3 for 8. Right, she's 3 for 8 from the field. Like Atlanta, they're not hitting shots. Like they're not hitting shots from 2. They're not hitting shots from 3. They're getting out sort of like Indiana really are selling out. I'll give credit to the Fever. I'm sort of mad at myself, Scott, but I really didn't believe the Fever had the depth to do this tonight. I thought that this is, okay, they'll be all spirited in the first quarter and stuff, but their will get broken as the game goes on. It hasn't. They could have. When it made it 40-37, I really thought, all right, Atlanta, you can take control now. You could feel the energy was slipping from Indiana. But boom, this little spark at the end of the third quarter. Suddenly it's a 15-point game. And, we were talking about our total being dead. I did bet in-game over 137.5, but it's pretty depressing. I don't see how the hell Atlanta are going to come back, Scott, down this much now. 59-44.
I'll say this. As bad as it is right now, you always look forward, right? You're a gambler. This sets up a real good betting opportunity for Thursday, Gabe. If a team loses, pick a score 75-70.
I say Atlanta, Atlanta's going to murder them.
When you play as bad as they played and shot as poorly, the coach is going to be ripping them. The players are going to be disappointed. They're going to come out with,
they're mad.
They're a lot better team, right? So what was the line for game one? 4.5 or so, 5? I bet if it's I am doubling them.
I think it was 6. It was 5.5, 6 actually in the first game. But I was going to say, the Las Vegas Aces players see this right now in their room, in the arena and stuff.
Right.
I like this too. They're going to be like, you know what? We're not playing a third game here, right? We're not going back to play a third game, and we want to get rest. And anything can happen in a third game. So this could also be a wake-up call to the Las Vegas Aces tonight, not to take the pedal off the metal like Atlanta did.
Right. Because they take on the winner of this series. So by the way.
Pitch today. It's like 5 in the morning. We hammer it. He tells everyone, listen, I'm telling you guys, Esteban Loaiza is in no condition to pitch tonight. We all hammer it. We bet against the Toronto Blue Jays. We even went to the game, Scott, even. Esteban Loaiza, word of no lie, bro. He threw 8 innings, a one-hit ball.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
They trade Marina Mabry, then they turn around, and then obviously they fire Teresa Weatherspoon, and it's been a hot mess. You go and, draft Cardozo and Reese, basically 2 of the same player, meaning bigs, that can't step out and shoot. So it's a little bit of a clown show when you talk about the Chicago Sky.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
He says, you can't get in a position, Tiger, Rory, Justin Thomas, those guys are this tall. You're never gonna be as flexible as them. You got a lot more leverage and you got a lot of more moving parts than those dudes.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I like the shadows coming in, Neyland Stadium. Show me those 3:30. Back in the day,
we played all our games on Saturdays. Maybe 1 or 2 games on a Friday night away. I always loved that. Same thing in college. Hated Friday night football games in college.
I understand why they do it prime time and we have to play. But going back to when we grew up, Keith Jackson.
Yeah.
Action.
Throw another pancake on that plate. Yeah, let's go, Keith Jackson. That's my guy here.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe. We got George Kurtz joining us in about 5 minutes. We'll do some baseball, some football talk with him. So 20-point lead Indiana. So we'll let that one simmer, and maybe if we don't pay attention to it, maybe something can happen, and we're not put the black cloud just by watching it because it's giving me too much aggravation. These women couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat in Atlanta tonight. It's just like crazy. Bottom 9. Let's go back to baseball. Bottom 9. Cleveland 3-2 over Detroit. I mentioned again the bad thing about Cleveland, they're playing great ball. If they hold on and win, they'll be 10-1 their last 11 games. Problem is that they don't hold any tiebreakers. They lose against Seattle. They lose against Boston. It's tied right now with the Yankees and Texas tiebreakers, but they don't win any of them. So they got to not only tie the team, they got to get ahead of the team. No more play-in games with baseball. Everything is a tiebreaker. Everything, and it's kind of weird. I don't know if you saw this or not, but I was reading up on it today. Everything is head-to-head, and even to make the postseason, it used to be you'd have one extra game. There's no extra games. And if it's tied after head-to-head still, then they go to your record in your division, even if you're tied with a team that's in another division. So let's just say Red Sox and Cleveland are tied, Gabe. They would take Cleveland's
How does
record.
that make sense?
It doesn't. They would take Cleveland's record in the Central
when the
versus
divisions
Boston's
are
record.
unbalanced as well. How does this make sense?
It's the stupidest thing in the world.
Why
would
is it,
they
Scott?
say, all right, your record combined into two divisions of the two teams, right? That would make sense, right? I mean, why would you
is it,
use
though,
crazy
that every league, every sport complicates playoffs? Like the NHL, as I was saying earlier, first place, second place in your division, third place. You look at the newspaper or computer, you don't even know what you're reading with the standings. You're like, what is, it's split up. It's all bizarre and awkward. Baseball, 3 games this team there. They're hopping around here. College football, we can't figure it out. Every year, every couple of years, we change it. Baseball, how the hell did they come up with this, Scott? And why would you come up with this? It's not very difficult. Right, let's give credit to football, actually, right? It's pretty simple. Division, conference. We'll go down head-to-head. Division, conference. That's the best way of doing it, Scott. Forget that division stuff. What was your record against the rest of the American League? If you're American League teams, you know what I mean? Head-to-head. Yeah, I don't care about your division record. It has nothing to do with me. Right? Like you said, I'd be pissed, dude. If I was the Yankees, I'd be pissed if the Guardians and the Royals get in because of their percentage of their freaking division. It's worse than my division.
Yeah, because you're playing Minnesota, and White Sox and all these lousy teams. I'm playing the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays. If you're worse than Tampa Bay, if the worst team in my division is Baltimore. I don't know.
I guess the poor owners screwed the good owners. That's the thing. There's only a few owners really trying to win, Scott. Let's be real. Right? Yeah. Cohen tries to win with the Mets. The Dodgers try to win. The Rangers try to win. The Phillies try to win. The Yankees kind of do. You know what I mean? You ask a Yankee fan and they'll argue that point.
Yeah, they'll say no. Yeah, they will. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? The guy in Pittsburgh has no interest in winning. Tampa has no interest in winning. We go down the list, right? I think the guy in Colorado cares about winning. The guy's selling 32,000 tickets a game and he sucks, Wetzel.
Yeah. I want to see how many people tonight, we won't know because the game will still be going on, but how many people, Gabe, take a guess, we'll bring it up tomorrow, are going to tonight's Colorado versus Miami Marlins game on a Tuesday in September.
Dude, they got 42,000 the other day, Scott.
Yeah. It's crazy. Really? It's crazy how many people are showing up. God bless those fans, right? What do you think it is? If they get 20,000.
It is the cheapest beer in the league. It is the cheapest beer in the league. Yeah, because it's a brewing town, right? It's Coors Field. Coors. It's Coors Field. It's Coors. Yeah, I think it's like $4 a beer, $3 a beer type thing. It's under $5. It's like $5. Yeah, it's generally in the $5 range. So you got cheap beer. People go for the visiting team. Denver's a good sports city, but you'll never get better, Denver, if you're supporting this loser team like this.
Right. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, right? If you had 2,000 people going to the games, then it'd be sell the team. What are you doing? Now the owner's happy. The owner's happy. Yeah. He's making money. Yeah.
You idiots are still showing up, and we're going to set the record for the worst record in the history of baseball, and yet they're going to draw over 2 million people. I mean, it's the craziest thing in the world. Are you laughing at them or give them credit?
I was thinking, Scott, I was like, well, they play the Dodgers, but they only play the Dodgers like 6-7 times, so it can't help them that much. You know what I mean? Like, who else is helping them?
Crazy. George Kurtz coming up next.
I pitched today. It's like 5 in the morning. We hammer it. He tells everyone, listen, I'm telling you guys, Esteban Loaiza is in no condition to pitch tonight. We all hammer it. We bet against the Toronto Blue Jays. We even went to the game, Scott, even. Esteban Loaiza, word of no lie, bro. He threw like 8 innings, a one-hit ball.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
They trade Marina Mabry, then they turn around, and then obviously they fire Teresa Weatherspoon, and it's been a hot mess. You go and, draft Cardozo and Reese, basically 2 of the same player, meaning bigs that can't step out and shoot. So it's a little bit of a clown show when you talk about the Chicago Sky.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
He says, you can't get in a position, Tiger, Rory, Justin Thomas, those guys are this tall. You're never gonna be as flexible as them. You got a lot more leverage and you got a lot of more moving parts than those dudes.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I like the shadows coming in, Neyland Stadium. Show
High
me those
school,
3:30.
Joe,
Back
we
in the
played
day,
all our games on Saturdays. Maybe 1 or 2 games on a Friday night away. I always loved that. Same thing in college. Hated Friday night football games in college.
I don't like. I understand why they do it prime time, and we have to play. But going back to when we grew up, Keith Jackson.
Yeah.
Action.
Throw another pancake on that plate. Yeah, let's go,
it.
Keith Jackson. That's my guy here.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe chatting a little baseball with our good buddy George Kurtz, who joins us now, SportsGrid Radio TV host. You see it here all the time here on the grid. So, George, taking a little poll. How many people do you think, and we won't know obviously until after the game tonight, how many people do you think are showing up for Colorado versus Miami tonight? Obviously a Tuesday night, mid-September, school day, work day. Last place team versus last place team. Actually, no, Miami's not the last place team. Next to last place team. How many people do you think are showing up for that game? We'll find out tomorrow.
But we played this game, an in-game live, a month ago, 2 months ago, where we thought it was going to be a terrible number. It was like 32,000 here.
Yeah,
I'm going to give, it's a Tuesday night, though. I think that might have been a Sunday afternoon. I think those
I'll say 13,000.
I'll give 20. That's what I said for the other game. It was 32,000 for the other game. If it was nobody, it was kind of some schmucks. I'm going to say it's
Tuesday night, though. Come on, against the Marlins, I'm going to say 13,000.
I'll say like 23. I bet they get over 20. I'll say 23.
I bet you they're lying, guys, about their numbers. How's that?
Of course they're lying. They're all lying.
Not bad. How can they lie?
I saw the stadium. Right? No, but I saw the stadium was pretty full. Right? I know. I saw the other day, and there was even a story. They're like, somehow the Rockies got 42,000 people over a weekend game the other day. But as I stated to Scott earlier, Kurtz, you're just encouraging the owner to continue sucking, right? They average, I'm looking now, it's amazing. They're 15th in Major League Baseball in attendance. They average 30,000 fans a game. Look at, these are the good,
That's amazing.
How about this, guys? Scott, the Texas Rangers are behind them. The Texas Rangers spend like $260 million on players.
Yeah.
The Detroit Tigers.
Nice stadium, maybe it's nice amenities. You know, Texas.
I said it's cheap beer. It's like $5 a beer or something.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know, $3 for a beer, maybe that's it, whatever it is. But for some reason, they're drawing people. Now, when I say they're lying, they count tickets sold. Now, not how many people actually show up to the game.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we know how that works.
So how about this? This even surprises me. But Chicago's a big city. But the Chicago White Sox get 17,000. There's no way there's really 17,000 people in the stadium.
No way.
Because you see the stadium's empty there. But that's what they're claiming, Scott.
It used to be where the one league was one and the other league was the other. Well, I forget which one it was. One went by tickets sold, one went by how many people went through the turnstile. I thought they switched to make it both. You had to go through the turnstile, not tickets sold. Maybe
no, they use tickets sold now.
Tickets sold
because there's season ticket holders, right, that aren't going to go. Like they're not. Right. I'm not going on a Tuesday or whatnot, right? Like. I'm looking at a Tampa game here right now. The stadium only holds about 12,000 people, and it's half empty. So I like to see what they claim for this.
Yeah.
Once again, you probably have a whole bunch of tickets. I wouldn't be surprised if they have 10, 11,000 season tickets there, right?
Tampa are averaging 9,000 a game. The lowest attendance is the Athletics and Tampa both average 9. Miami averages 13. Wow. White Sox 17. Pittsburgh 18. Kansas City 21. Minnesota. Like the best good team that doesn't draw, I would say, would be Texas and Detroit. They're like 17th. They're behind Colorado. But let's get to the Dodgers game.
Yeah. What do you think, George? Dodgers, you got Phillies clinching last night. They're still playing for something. Gabe and I were talking about that, whether it's catching Milwaukee, holding off the Dodgers for the number 2. They got a little cushion there, but getting, what, 120 or so? It's L.A. right now laying 132. Phillies plus 112 with Sanchez on the hill versus Ohtani.
Yeah, it's sort of the anti-celebration mode, right? They celebrated last night. We know they did. I just checked the lineup here. The regulars are pretty much in there. Harper, Schwarber, and company there. It's Ohtani versus Sanchez, and Sanchez has had a great season. Ohtani, we know, is really good. I would have thought the Philadelphia would have had a few more guys out, but I still like the Dodgers tonight to rebound somewhat after last night. I don't love it, mind you, but I just think Philadelphia not going to quite be up to par for this game, after clinching the division last night. But they do still have something to play for. What are they? They're only a game and a half behind the Milwaukee Brewers for first place, and they would like the playoffs to go through Philadelphia.
And the Dodgers are good off a loss. The Dodgers are good off a loss, guys. Looking at my numbers here for this. As you brought it up earlier, Scott, the Philadelphia Phillies, 9-2, George, the last 11 times against the Dodgers. I'm not into some of these wild trends, but this isn't a trend. It's just a fact. The Phillies have been beating the Dodgers. So they're 9-2 the last 11. You talked about Sanchez being very good. I mean, he's had a great year. He's pitched well against the Dodgers. He's 2-0 with a 3.57 ERA in his career. But, something that caught my eye here, guys, just the Dodgers are like the 6th best team in baseball, off a loss. They don't lose a lot of games in a row very often, 36-29. And for prop players out there, Teoscar Hernandez against Sanchez. For the record, Ohtani's never pitched against the Phillies before. There's a couple of Phillies that have faced him because, they're on other teams or whatnot, in the American League, but he's never pitched against the Philadelphia Phillies before, so that's sort of intriguing. I like his over 5.5, but Teoscar Hernandez, guys, has faced Sanchez 9 times only, 9 at-bats. He's got 5 hits and 2 home runs in his 9 at-bats, and it pays plus 500 tonight for Teoscar Hernandez to hit a home run. Too good of odds not to play for Teoscar tonight. And I'm going to go over Ohtani, 5.5 strikeouts. He didn't, if you look, he left the game. He got sick. He's been hit with pitches. He's had a weird time when he goes on the hill. He had an inflammatory respiratory illness last week. So he's going through some things, but he's good to go tonight. I'm going to go over to 5.5 strikeouts with Ohtani, and I'll take the Dodgers to win.
I like where you're going with the strikeouts. You mentioned generally he's going to get that. 5-9-3 is the game he left early. 7-8. Generally he's going to get 5.5. And Phil, you can strike out Philadelphia. So I do kind of like where you're going here. My God, if the Yankees blow this lead tonight, I will flip. Oh, God, I'll flip.
Weren't they up like 10-4 or something? What's the score now?
I think it was 10-1. It was 10-1. Yeah. I think now it's 10-7
now.
Only
the 6th inning, too.
I will be bouncing
Devin
off the
Williams.
walls.
Oh, if they blow this one. And with Devin Williams figuring that he's going to pitch somewhere along the line, right, in a 10-7 game. I mean, I don't know how many guys they've used.
As long as they keep Devin Williams out of a pressure situation, he'll be fine. Throw him in now. He'll strike everybody out now. You just can't make it 10-8, 10-9 and put him in. But you keep throwing guys like Tim Hill and these softball pitchers, and you wonder why they're scoring runs here. Whatever. I don't care. But yeah, I'm going to be. I like Gabe's going with Hernandez and with Ohtani here. Hernandez, I was probably thinking more about the multiple base prop, 2+ bases here.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
mind the home run prop either.
I was thinking the same thing, but I just saw that I was going to give the over 1.5 total bases. You got 5 hits and 9 at bats. You're not going to be in. For the record, Teoscar, the Dodgers line has been released. Teoscar's batting third tonight, so they're not going to be able to avoid him, right? So it's not like you can really dance around him. I like the over 1.5 total bases, but a plus 500, Scott. You're not a big home run prop player, but 500 is a nice price. And Teoscar he does hit a lot of home runs, right? So it's not like it's some super crazy long shot. And it doesn't have to be against Sanchez. It's a beautiful thing. He's going to, he's going to get four cracks at this.
I'm going to use, I'm looking for his total bases. There it is. I'm going to use Kyle Schwarber, guys. It's only plus 260 for a home run. And I generally, like I said, I don't generally, but he's hit home runs in 3 straight games. He's got Ohtani on the hill. It's not going to be easy. I get that. But, the guy's on fire. And then I'll use his 2. I like a little hedge. I'll use the home run, and then I'll use the 2+ bases, which is generally pretty good. And for Schwarber tonight, it is plus 120. Wow. I give it just nothing. But I'll do a little hedge on that just in case. But plus 260 is not bad. By the way, I hope you didn't have the under in the Cleveland-Detroit game. Game just went
crushed.
over.
I think it's 8-3 now.
Oh, 8-3. 3-2, bottom of the 9th, George, and you're saying the guy hit for Detroit hit a home run to tie it, and now it's 8-3. The game goes way
7-3. I'm sorry, it's 7-3, second and 7, 1 out. So
look at the Guardians.
By the way,
not tapping out yet. Not tapping out yet, the Guardians.
Mets are beating San Diego 8-3, but Francisco Alvarez just got hit with a pitch, and he looks in immense pain. He just came out of the game here. That kid's got no luck.
All right, we'll get hold on, George. We'll get your thoughts on Arizona, San Fran, and the other baseball game.
I pitched today. It's like 5 in the morning. We hammer it. He tells everyone, listen, I'm telling you guys, Esteban Loaiza is in no condition to pitch tonight. We all hammer it. We bet against the Toronto Blue Jays. We even went to the game, Scott, even. Esteban Loaiza, word of no lie, bro. He threw 8 innings, a 1-hit ball.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
They trade Marina Mabry, then they turn around, and then obviously they fire Teresa Weatherspoon, and it's been a hot mess. You go and, draft Cardozo and Reese, basically 2 of the same player, meaning bigs that can't step out and shoot. So it's a little bit of a clown show when you talk about the Chicago Sky.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
He says, you can't get in a position, Tiger, Rory, Justin Thomas, those guys are this tall. You're never gonna be as flexible as them. You got a lot more leverage and you got a lot of more moving parts than those dudes.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I like the shadows coming in, Neyland Stadium. Show
High
me those
school,
3:30.
Joe,
Back
we
in the
played
day,
all our games on Saturdays. Maybe 1 or 2 games on a Friday night away. I always loved that. Same thing in college. Hated Friday night football games in college.
I understand why they do it prime time and we have to play. But going back to when we grew up, Keith Jackson.
Yeah.
Action.
Throw another pancake on that plate. Yeah,
That's
let's go,
it.
Keith Jackson. That's my guy here.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Welcome back to Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Just have a little fun in between the breaks here, talking with good buddy George Kurtz. So, second late game just underway, San Fran and Arizona. Mets are going to win. In fact, I think they did actually. Well, it's 8-3, bottom of the eighth inning. So the Mets are going to win, George. So it's kind of like a must. This Arizona San
Never say
Fran
that with
series.
the Mets.
Yeah, that's true. That's with their bullpen, right? You never know. You Mets or Yankees for that matter. But no score in the first inning. Bottom of the top of the first with 2 on for San Fran. Basically, pick them. San Fran a slight little favorite now. They had 2 runners on. But who'd you like in this game?
Hard not to like the Diamondbacks, right? They're playing well. To me, they're a team that actually both these teams traded out, right? The deadline here, they're both playing well. You got Rodriguez, and Rodriguez, by the way, you don't count the first couple months of the season. He's been pretty good the second half for the Diamondbacks.
7-1, 7-1, George. His last 8 starts is Arizona.
He's sort of been their Corbin Burns, right? Where after Burns went down here, Giants are throwing Beck out there. So I'd like Arizona coming in here, like their over team total as well in this game. They're both chasing the Mets here. You just said it, Scott. The Mets winning 8-3. They'll hold serve tonight, but one of these two teams will fall another game back.
Yeah. Where would the Diamondbacks be if they didn't trade Merrill Kelly and Eugenio Suarez, right? And I think they got a couple rid of other guys, but sometimes
Naylor.
they just Naylor. Yeah,
sometimes it's addition through subtraction.
Yeah,
it's strange to say,
Gabe,
but
right?
it's bizarro world.
Yeah. I mean, no more pressure on you. Everyone's waving you off, and no one's, it's like the season's over.
Corbin Burns got hurt. They spent a fortune on him. They have him 8 starts before his season ended here. Yeah. So they've had a lot of
but like Scott brought up,
that way.
Since like August 3rd or whatever, they have one of the best records in the league.
Yeah, 25.
No pressure, you play better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, once again, there's no pressure on you, you play better, and they've hit. Perdomo has been fantastic, right? He wasn't even considered their shortstop of the future. That was Lawler. The rookie.
They kind of got lucky, hey George and Scott. I was just saying they kind of got lucky though with this series against San Francisco. They didn't get Robbie Ray. They didn't get Logan Webb. Like, you know what I mean? They got San Francisco in a real bad pitching spot the last couple of nights here.
Right.
It's true. They did get the right guys, right? And I said, I don't know. I didn't follow the San Fran rotation, but I do wonder if San Fran sort of jiggered that rotation to get those guys against the Dodgers. Which I wouldn't have done that, by the way, because you probably want the better pitchers going against Arizona.
They won
Dodgers,
1 of 2 only, right? Yeah.
Right. I don't know if I would have wanted to take that. Oh, my God.
2-run homer?
Oh, did the Twins?
They had first and third, 1 out. The guy hit a monster shot to the wall, but it was caught 10-8. Mark Leiter's in there, so this is going to be a tie game. It won't be tied before long.
You know what?
Yeah, plus 350 now.
I thought it was gone.
We should have taken it a couple of minutes ago. Joking about the Mets blowing the lead.
The Yankees. Now?
What about the Twins are plus 2.5, minus 165. And don't forget, too, the Twins got the last at-bat as the home team, too, so they got an extra crack at this.
I'm taking the over 21 and a half. This is not like the 8th inning. This is only the 6th inning.
I got a 20 and a half.
We're not going to get 4 more runs in this game against a bad Yankee bullpen and a bad Minnesota bullpen.
Yeah.
We're getting 4 more runs here. I can't see how we're not. The Yankees do get out of it, by the way, so it's 10-8, top 7. But I think we're getting 4 more runs. The Yankees are going to, I assume they're going to score. The only way you can say about the Yankees is that they haven't used their best relievers yet. Although Luke Weaver's been terrible. But I think we're going to get more runs this game. Plus money, I'm taking the over 21 and a half. 20 and a half now, but minus 168.
They won't, FanDuel, because, of course, it's weird. They give you the underdog, but they won't let you put it in a parlay with the over because if the underdog wins, then it's got to go over. Yeah, I'm getting 20 and a half, too. It's heavily juiced, minus 172. But you don't generally see the impossible. You'd see that with runs, but you don't see it with the money line usually, which is kind of weird.
If the Yankees make an opening out here on the top of the 7, we'll get a more reasonable line than 172. So I think I'll wait a second. I wanted 21 and a half at plus 118 it was, but I didn't get in time. So we'll see if we can get a better number here. But you can't tell me we're not getting 3-4 more runs in this Yankee game.
Yeah. That's a solid bet. Find a parlay partner
by
if
the
you
way,
have to.
Detroit has now made it 7-5, so that under's now been obliterated thanks to extra innings here. 2-run winner.
What about the total in the Dodger game? What Ohtani and Suarez Sanchez? Excuse me. Sanchez has been really good. I kind of thought it was going to be a lower scoring last night, but man, there's so much potency with the offense with those two teams and those bats guys, right? And Ohtani can go over the strikeouts and everything, but he also gives up home runs. And I think the Dodgers are going to hit a home run or two against Sanchez, guys. So I'm kind of scared of the under here. If I had to, I'd say over, but I don't know if you guys are betting the total.
I agree with you. I think exactly what you said here. I like the under, but I'm not going to bet it. But I think this is an in-game over. I want them to, if Sanchez and Ohtani go to an
6.5, 5.5 type thing.
Exactly. It's exactly what I want. Then I'll hit the over because both bullpens suck. All right, that's really what I want to hit this. I want to hit the bullpens here. They'll score just like they did last night.
Yeah, we saw last night late.
Here.
Yeah, we saw late last night. The game got crazy.
Yeah. Who's making it in the postseason in the National League, George? When everything is said and done.
I think the Mets hold serve. All right, I think they'll hold on.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a good win tonight for them.
This is what they had to get through the 3 games against San Diego, right? I mean, listen, I don't trust it. Their pitching staff is a mess all around here. So I certainly don't trust them here, but I think their offense will get them through enough here. Cincinnati sort of, they spit the bit when they got swept over the weekend in Oakland. Sacramento can't do that. And if some team were to catch them, I think it would be Arizona. All right, so take that for what it's worth here. But I'll say they hold serve.
Yeah. How about American League? Red Sox losing tonight. They lost. Opens the door a little bit.
I don't think the Sox are going to fall apart. All right, and once again, even if I think the Sox are going to fall apart, Texas is losing also. Right, they're getting shellacked by Houston again. So many injuries to Texas: Eovaldi, Corey Seager, Semien. I know I'm leaving somebody else out there too. Garcia just came back, so just too many injuries for them to really be a threat here. Cleveland does hold on. By the way, they do beat Detroit 7-5.
All right,
baseball playoffs are going to be lit.
Yeah,
it'll be fun. Gonna be fun.
Guards are now 78-71. Cleveland. All of a sudden, Cleveland's playing great ball. That's what we want.
They're another one.
They may just. Yeah.
They traded people too.
Yeah. And they had pitchers who decided that they wanted to play with the boys in Vegas too. That didn't help their cause.
Oh yeah, not to mention they lose 2 of their best relievers, and they trade Shane Bieber, and here they are. Figure it out.
Crazy. George, great job, man. We'll do it again soon. Thanks.
Pitch today. It's like 5 in the morning. We hammer it. He tells everyone, listen, I'm telling you guys, Esteban Loaiza is in no condition to pitch tonight. We all hammer it. We bet against the Toronto Blue Jays. We even went to the game, Scott, even. Esteban Loaiza, word of no lie, bro. He threw 8 innings, a one-hit ball.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
They trade Marina Mabrey, then they turn around, and then obviously they fire Teresa Weatherspoon, and it's been a hot mess. You go and, draft Cardozo and Reese, basically 2 of the same player, meaning bigs that can't step out and shoot. So it's a little bit of a clown show when you talk about the Chicago Sky.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
He says, you can't get in a position, Tiger, Rory, Justin Thomas, those guys are this tall. You're never gonna be as flexible as them. You got a lot more leverage and you got a lot of more moving parts than those dudes.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I like the shadows coming in, Neyland Stadium. Show me those 3:30. Back
we
in the
played
day,
all our games on Saturdays. Maybe 1 or 2 games on a Friday night away. I always loved that. Same thing in college. Hated Friday night football games in college.
I understand why they do it prime time and we have to play. But going back to when we grew up, Keith Jackson.
Yeah.
Action.
Throw another pancake on that plate. Yeah, let's go,
it.
Keith Jackson. That's my guy here.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Fast 2 hours. Last segment. Final check of the scoreboard here. Get our last final plays in. We'll update to the WNBA here in a second. But we got first pitch coming up with the Dodgers and Phillies. Yeah, I'm seeing 5.5 game as far as the Ohtani strikeouts. I kind of given up on him. I bet him a few times when he came back, and they jerked around with him, and every time I go under, they would keep him in there. Every time I would go over, they would yank him after 3. So I've kind of given up on that. So
he generally goes over. You know, Scott, if you think about it, he got taken out of the game. He felt sick, so he came out after 3 innings. There was another game, if you remember, he got hit with a line drive. So there's actually every time, like I know I follow every Dodger game, so I'm looking and I'm like, yeah, that's the game he left. He was sick. He went under. Oh, that's the game where he took a line drive off the kneecap. And he didn't, you know what I mean? So there's usually a reason for it. And even in his limited amount of like pitches, if he doesn't get knocked out of the game and something weird happens, he should go over this number. But I understand 6s, you know, it's up there. And you got to lay juice as well. It is like minus 140 or something like that.
Yeah. I just as soon do an Ohtani home run at plus 3 and change and just hope he, you know, has that, juice going for him tonight. So, but that should be a good game. Listen, I'm a little concerned with the Phillies or with the Dodgers. The way they've been playing and stuff, it is looking like you're going to get a bet. We talked about it, a Mets-Dodgers showdown in the first round. And then over in the American League, you're looking at a Red Sox-Yankees showdown in the first round. So that's
you're looking at monster
Monster
television ratings. That's what you're looking at. Little bonus pick on the way out. There's soccer going on tonight. The U.S. Open Cup, the oldest tournament in soccer in America. You know, Scott, it's like MLS teams, but they give the other smaller club teams a chance to compete. You know, it's like a Champions League type thing. So there's the same thing going on with the Canada Cup, and it all merges into one and stuff. So the Vancouver Whitecaps, who are an elite MLS team, are playing against a Canadian Soccer League team. But this is sort of like FBS versus FCS, Scott. These lower tier teams freaking bring it, bro. It's their Super Bowls. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's their chance. They want to get signed by the MLS teams and stuff, the players. So it's a dangerous game tonight. The Whitecaps are down to minus 170, minus 175 right now. I do think they handle their business tonight. They're tied at 2, so they already played the first leg of this. So there's no more playing around. Like the Whitecaps played all their backups and tied them on the road 2-2. Now they're playing a bunch of their starters, not all of them, but they're playing a bunch of them. Little late night soccer bonus pick that kicks off in a couple of minutes. Vancouver Whitecaps minus 175 to beat the Forge.
All right, there you go. Update the WNBA. What do we have as far as points go? I think Asia's got 6 points.
I don't even want to look.
Already.
I'm scared.
Yeah, you're not gonna like the score from the other game. I think you
2017. Oh, the other game. No, I didn't bring it up because I didn't want to get negative. Bro, I had over 138.5. They got to 137. Like, I don't even want to yeah. And I tried to get it at 136.5, and I didn't. Like, yeah. On to the next one. So listen, it's 20-19 right now for the Aces. So the Storm are hanging early, but the pace is on pace, Scott. It's 167.5 right now. Listen, 2019. At least they're scoring, bro. We're up to like 40 points already.
Yeah, this is what I expected in the first game. I figured we'd get it here, but I thought we would have that in the first game. So, you got to figure, Storm would come out with a little whatever, gumption there, just to get the flow going there since they're down 1 game to none. They played so poorly. So I still think the Vegas Aces are going to win. It's down to 3.5. It's our Black Cloud play of the day, so keep your fingers crossed on that one. And the way it's going, 167.5. This is, if Seattle's not going to try and slow things down, then I don't know how Las Vegas doesn't put at least 90 points on the board since they put over 100. So I think we over the 167.5. I really do. San Fran off to a good start. Baseball 4-0 first inning. I don't mind that Twinkies play plus 420 heading to the bottom of the 7th, down 10-8. And the over-under is now 20.5 at minus 110. So George was right as far as, let's see if they get through the top of the 7th with no runs. Now you got a modest number at plus 108.
I took the Twins plus 2.5.
Yeah, you have to.
And I took over 20.5. So I'd like to see some more runs. So listen, if they can tie the game, boom, 10-10, I automatically win. So I see a 19.5 now, minus 145, but I'm with you. I like chaos, Scott. Let's see a Twins comeback here. Let's get it.
There you go. That would be
Plus,
great.
anything that gives George a hard time, I enjoy.
Yeah,
I love Kurtz, but I know how mad he gets watching the Yankees lose, drinking his Pepsis, crushing a Pepsi can there. Effing Yankees.
If we go off the air over the next hour, you know the Yankees lost. Thank you, George.
Boise State, they have Arkansas, they have USC. There's no shot in Purdue. Those are the only big games that they have the rest of